to GameCheck. I'm Matt, this is Art. We have a giveaway for you this week. Details at the end of the show.
Alright, our first app this week is going to be Robot Wants Kitty. It's got a score of 3.75 on the rating scale. So basically, it's a platformer where you play a robot who's trying to get a hold of a cute, cuddly kitty, which is behind a gate. You gotta solve all these puzzles, pick up some power-ups along the way to solve the puzzles with to get to the kitty. What do you think about it?
You know, I enjoyed this game a lot overall. The way that the levels are set up, the retro feel of play, great platformer. The idea that you can see your goals but can't obtain them right away gives you something to strive for, and there's a real sense of accomplishment when you do achieve those goals. I mean, overall, I thought it played out pretty well. I didn't have a lot of large complaints about the game.
What do you think about the downsides to it? What didn't you like about it?
You know, even though I didn't find anything majorly wrong with the game, there were some things that I didn't like. The biggest one might be that there's only one primary weapon in this game. Now, you can upgrade your primary weapon, but it's essentially the same thing the whole way through, which is a blaster at various speeds. What I'd like to see is maybe some addition of new weapons, maybe a trajectory grenade, or an exploding bomb, or landmine, I don't know, just something to make it a little more versatile.
And time doesn't really serve a purpose. The app keeps track of how long it takes you to complete a particular level, but that time doesn't really serve a purpose. It seems to be the base means of scoring, you know, because there's really no points that you score from defeating enemies or anything. So it records how long it takes you to beat it, and it measures that as a score. And that's really not a great mechanic, because once you complete it, it could take anywhere from 15 minutes to, you know, over an hour to complete a level. You might not want to go back and do that.
One of my other gripes about the game right now is that there's a limited number of levels. I think we're only seeing 6 levels in the game right now, and that's an issue when it comes to content.
Yeah, but that said, I mean, there is a map editor. You can create your own maps, and also importantly, the developer is instituting a feature in the next updates that'll allow you to upload and download maps from a server. So anybody who creates a map will be able to upload it, you'll be able to download it. I mean, it'll really lengthen the life of the app.
And you know what, that is true, and in fact, that level editor, like you said, it's available now, so actually you can start building those levels now if you really wanted to and just play around with it.
So in the end, what'd you give it?
I'm going to give this game a check plus. I really enjoyed this game. I mean, maybe more so than that overall score actually indicates that I should have, but I mean, it is a fun game. I really didn't have a lot of major complaints about this game. It was very enjoyable. This game had a Metroid-like feel to it, and you know, that was kind of fun.
Yeah. I'm also going to give it a check plus. I enjoyed it a lot. So all in all, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. You're definitely going to want to download it.
Next up is Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12. They took a year off in between releases here, so it's been 2 years since the last installment of this app. It scored a 4.0 on the rating system. Includes 8 courses, some multiplayer modes, Facebook challenge mode, Tiger Woods challenges, beautiful courses, great sounds, great environments. It's what basically you'd expect from a professional level golfing app. So what did you think of Tiger Woods PGA Tour 12?
For the most part, I liked it. It's fun, it's kind of addictive, and the courses are really beautiful. And they kind of ramp up in difficulty, and they seem more difficult than the other golf apps, which could be a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm definitely a fan of the mechanics in this game. They're intuitive and simple, and they actually add a lot to the feel of the game overall. Instead of just, you know, clicking start and stop like you do on, let's say, Let's Golf 2, you actually are somewhat in control of your swing. How far back you go, if you scroll from side to side. There's also, you can control the spin on the ball after you've hit it to try to spin it back or spin it forward. I think those things work really well in this game, and they add a lot to it. Also, this game offers some new modes over the previous versions. There's the Tiger Challenge, along with the closest to the pin mechanic. I think that's what it's called. So you said you thought this one was pretty fun. What didn't you like about the app?
Well, there's not much new in terms of the actual gameplay mechanics. Pretty much the same stuff from before.
Right, but definitely better graphics, though, so I mean, I guess it depends what you're looking for here. One pet peeve of mine in this game is that there's no easy way to restart a course or hole without actually quitting out to the main menu and starting over. I would really, really love in the pause menu if there was a restart course button. It's frustrating to have to do that, and a lot of times, because of the prompts, you end up, instead of starting the hole over, jumping back into the save game that you were trying to exit in the first place. And that can be really frustrating. And as a counterpoint to something you said earlier, it is more difficult than some of the other apps out there. And that might be a good thing for some of the players, but for other players, for people who want a more casual experience, it might be more difficult with less fun.
Yeah, I guess it boils down to what you're really looking for in a game. If you're looking for something casual and just kind of fun to play, you know, then you've got your option. But if what you want is a challenge, if what you want is something a little more difficult, a little less, you know, cute, and hey, you win every time, maybe something that'll actually, you know, kind of give you a challenge, then I would maybe say that was a good thing. One of the things that did bother me, though, is that sometimes the mechanics seem a little bit off, especially the controls, especially while putting. I tell you what, some of those putts, even when you're sure you've got it perfectly lined up, more than 50% of the time, I would end up exactly the same amount short, which is about 2 inches. Every time. So how'd you score this one?
I'm going to give this game just a check, because based on its improvements from the last installment, as well as the other competition that is out for this game, I'm not sure I can say this is just definitively the best golf game out there. So I'm going to stay with just a check.
I'm going to give it a check plus, pending an update. There were a couple of other bugs having to do with viewpoint and controls that'll need to be addressed. So I'm going to give it a check plus. It's definitely a good game, but that's pending an update to fix some of those issues.
Alright, so before we end the show for the week, we've got a giveaway for you. All you need to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, and at the end of the week, we will pull 5 lucky winners to receive a free copy of Angry Birds Rio. Pretty fun. So be sure to subscribe.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter, at Matt and at Game Artistry.
Thanks for watching. This has been GameCheck. Subscribe!
Yellow button!